Hi everyone. In this video, I want to show you an example where depending on what you choose in this list, either sales or profit, you will get an aggregated list of sales or profit by subcategory in this case, and then you can create a dynamic chart from it. So right now, what I can do is maybe I can do a sum if, right, where I'm saying that my range is subcategory, my criteria is, let's say, profit. And sorry, my criteria is a particular reference, for example chairs, and then I can do a sum range from either profit or loss. The reason now what happens is it only creates it for one particular column. What I want to do is I want to create a dynamic formula where rather than looking at individual line items from subcategory, I want to get a list of all my subcategories here, and then against it I want to get sales or profit depending on what I choose in my drop down here. So for that the method is fairly straightforward. Just have a look at the example. I'll be using the match function where I'm saying that this is my lookup value and I want to either search for sales because these are my column headings or profit. Okay, and these are the not just the column headings, these are the values that I've added in the drop down, and comma 0. So it tells me that sales is 1 and from this array profit is 2. Now what I want to do next is I want to build a function where I'm able to choose depending on what I've chosen here, which is either sales or profit. So sales would be at the first position, profit is at the second position. I want to get the value accordingly. So here I'm going to use a function called choose, where I'm going to say that my index number, which is this entire match function, which is either resulting into a 0 or a 1. I'm going to put a drop down there, put a comma, put a alt enter, not a drop down, sorry, an alt enter a line break. I'm going to say my value 1 is, okay, sorry, let me just write the value 1 first and then create the line break. Value 1 is sales because that is at the first position, comma, value 2 is profit. That's at the second position. I can now break this into different lines. This is the value 1 and this becomes value 2, and I have my parentheses here, just putting some spaces so that the formula becomes readable. Okay, there we go, and the last one, and the last one right here. Perfect. So earlier I did the match function where I'm searching for sales or profit from whatever is chosen H1. It tells me what is the position of sales and profit, whatever is chosen from here. Right now it shows me 2 as the result at the top because I've chosen profit here. Then I'm using the choose function where my first value argument is sales, second value argument is the profit values. What this is going to do is it's going to display, when I choose sales, the sales values. When I choose profit, it is going to display the profit values. Now what happens here is that I can remove these additional colors. I don't need them, so no fill. And okay, so this is the formula. So match allows me to retrieve the position of sales and profit from the drop down, whatever I've chosen, and then I'm linking that with my sales and profit column. Sales I'm choosing as the first one because that is the order in which my drop down is listed. I can't reverse the order. If I want to change the order, I can do that in the drop down as well and in my selection of the columns as well. Now what I want to do is, now that I've got sales here, I want to create a chart. But because I want to create a chart, I would want to have aggregated values. Because what happens is if I try to create a chart from the raw data, because there are multiple segments, multiple categories, values are repeating multiple times. So if I come back to, let's say, I insert a normal chart, you will have a lot of these different values appearing because this is not an aggregated data set. So to aggregate, I can use a function like group by, where I can say that I want to group by, and just going to put some spaces here to ensure that the formula is legible and readable. Okay, and this is my group by. Okay, now this is the one for my choose, which is right here. Okay, now this entire argument remains same, which is the first one. I'm saying this is my row field. Rather, actually, my row field is not going to be this, but the subcategories, because that is what I want to group by. Put a comma. This entire thing is my values argument, and I put a comma there, and I say I want to do a sum. Now in the group by, you want to display headers. So since I don't have any headers, I'm going to say no by default, and I don't want to see totals as well because the total will also get plotted in the chart. So I don't want to do that in the example. I'm just going to restructure this so that it's much more easier to read. Okay, there we go. So the entire choose function allows me to retrieve sales or profit values depending on what I choose in the dropdown. The group by function allows me to aggregate by my row field, which in this case is subcategory. I want to do a sum. This first zero is for field headers. In case you've chosen headers, you can display them. Second is for totals. By default, the group by function will show totals. I want to exclude that. I am seeing an error here. Let me just see what the error can be. So I'm saying group by C4 to C54. Choose, and this is my formula, and I don't think there should be an error. Okay, maybe because of the spaces. Not sure why that error happened. So now this function groups this data. I can quickly format this. So Control Shift 1 to format the numbers. Select the numbers and just insert a chart. I'll insert a simple bar chart for now. I will position it on the right here. I will remove the title for now. Not going to do a lot of formatting. A simple chart. Perfect. I'm just going to ensure that my label position is low so that in case there are negative values in profit, they are adjusted for accordingly. I am going to remove my grid lines. I'm going to right click on the chart and quickly format this as well. So I'm going to reduce the gap width for the charts, and in fill color I want to have a solid fill, and in case there are negative colors I want to have a negative color as well. So for the solid colors, let's say I want to have a blue, and for the negative colors I want to have a red. Like obviously in sales there will not be a negative color here, but as soon as I change the drop down from sales to profit, I will have a view like this. Again, if more data gets aggregated tomorrow, because right now I'm only chosen till 54, I can expand and choose a larger table or a larger area, or I can convert this into a table for a dynamic reference. Right now it only accepts till row 54. Obviously I can increase the row height to, let's say, a range height to 100 in all the cases, but then again there are no values there, so right now that would result in these blank or dummy rows. Okay, so I don't want to do that. You can either convert this into a table, so that will give you a better name reference inside the formula as well, and that's how you do it. And okay, you change it to sales and you get sales. Just to look at the formula one more time by zooming in. So you're using the choose and the match function that will allow you to get the actual value from the list, and then I'm using group by to aggregate those values by subcategory. I hope you like this example. Someone had asked this to me during a workshop, and I thought I'll create an example and put it on YouTube as well for everyone's reference. Thank you for watching the video.